Good morning. This is the second part. Okay, so you should have seen the bar graphs. Now we're going to the dot plots. Okay, and I think the problem we have with dot plots sometimes is students tend to forget that every dot represents a piece of our data. Okay, I think that's where we get issues. So go ahead and press play, press pause, and you can copy that down. And what I did here, I did halfway through and then solid line. Halfway through, solid line. That's how I did it. Okay, so go ahead and press pause and then press play when you're ready. Okay, so what are dot plots? They display data graphically. And we use small dots, or sometimes you see X's on there. So instead of the dots, you might see X's. So that's how we display the data. Okay. I like dot plots because I can find the median quickly. I mean, I like all graphs because you can find the data so quickly. It's already in order for you from least to greatest. So the median is easy to find. The mode, just like with the bar graph, the tallest bar graph is your mode. Here, the tallest tower is your mode. Okay. And it's just easy. So there's three kinds of shapes that the graph can happen. Okay, so the data can take on three different shapes. One is what we call symmetrical. Now, for it to look symmetrical, let me get my highlighter here. I'm going to draw a line on the top of each dot. Okay, now when you have this on a test, everything's going to be nice and equal. So if I go to the dots, connect the top dots, kind of makes a nice little hill. That is what we call symmetric. Okay, everything is symmetrical. All right, pretty much if I fold it in half, it's pretty close to being the same on both sides. I clearly have a median, and then I have the little wings on the side. So symmetrical has a nice bell shape to it. Okay, then we have skewed right and skewed left. And here's where students flip-flop the right and left. So let me show you. On a skewed right graph, when you connect the top dots, the tail, I call this the tail, tapers off to the right. So you start off high and then it tapers off to the right. So this is skewed right. My data is going down to the right. Okay. And skewed left, the tail is on the left side. So my high point on the data is over here on the right side, and it goes down, tapers off to the left. Okay. So skewed right, the tail is down to the right side. Skewed left, the tail is down to the left side. Now, you can have a graph that is neither of these three. Okay. If it doesn't look like any one of those three, then the data doesn't have a shape. Okay, there's no pattern to the data. It's a scatter plot. It's just everywhere. Okay, so it can be symmetrical, skewed right, skewed left, or no shape at all. All right, those are our options. The spread of the data. If I want to find the spread of the data, it's pretty much asking you what is the range of data? How far apart is your biggest data from the smallest data? So, for example, the spread of this dot plot would be 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, so if they're asking you for the spread of data, it's pretty much asking you for the range. Okay, it's the range. Now, the outlier. It's a piece of data that is far away from the rest. So in here, there's no outliers, but an outlier would be if I used this piece of data here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say I had another dot way over there, like on number 10. 10 would be an outlier. Okay, that means it doesn't really fit here. It's like far away from the other data. All right, that's what an outlier is. It's not close to the data set at all. There's a nice gap in between. Now let's go into our example. So I'm going to move this up now. Okay. You can write the questions as we go, just like last time, but this graph represents the height of 22 students. Okay, so this graph represents the height of 22 students in a classroom. So we have our number line, and it gives me the title height in inches, and the inches are from 31 to 43 inches. Okay, the main thing about dot plots, every dot represents somebody or one piece of the data. So somebody is 32 inches. Two people are 33 inches. Two people are 34 inches. 4 people are 35 inches, and so forth, okay? If I don't have any dots above a number, that means I don't have that number in my data, okay? That means there are no students who are 31 inches. There are no students who are 41, 42, or 43 inches, okay? So you need to pay close attention to that because you might have a number in between here that has no dots. That means it's not part of my data at all, okay? The dots are your data. The numbers down here, they just represent what the data is. So this is just heights. These are just heights. These are the students. The dots are the students who are those heights, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the questions that I asked. Question 1. How is the data distributed? Now, the word distributed is another word for shape. Well, how is it shaped? Let's connect the dots. So starting with the dot, I'm going to go to each dot here. And if I look at that, it looks pretty symmetrical. I can clearly see that here's the top part of the hill, and both sides are pretty much the same. So on this one, I would have to say that this dot plot is symmetrical. So it is symmetric, okay, or symmetrical, however you want to say it, okay, because it's a nice rolling hill. All right. Now, the median height. The median height is not necessarily always the tallest of the towers here, okay? It actually is, and this one, it'll be easy. If it's a symmetrical piece of data, if it's a symmetrical dot plot, the median is clearly going to be the highest one here, okay? But just in case it's not, I'm going to show you how to find the median, okay? So I'm going to get my pins here. And just like we did with mean, median, mode, and range, I'm going to cross out the dots, not the numbers down here. Remember, the numbers are just, they tell me what those dots represent, okay? That's all they do. So I'm going to cross out the dot over here and a dot over here, a dot over here, and a dot over there. We're going to keep on going. One from the small side, one from the tall side, one from the short side, one from the tall side, and we're going to keep going. Now, clearly, all these dots are 36, 36, 36, 36, 36. So if all you have left are 36s in the middle, that's going to be your median. So the median number is 36 inches, okay? 36 inches is my median, all right? So again, this one, like I said, was easy to see because it's symmetrical, but if you had a skewed right or skewed left or no shape at all, you'd have to make sure you go one from the right, one from the left, one from the right, one from the left, and keep on going until you find the number in the dot in the middle, okay? Let's see, mode. Mode is so easy to find on a dot plot, okay? It's going to be your tallest tower. So I only have 1 here, 2 here, 2 here, 4 here. Here's a 5, 4, 2, 2. So the one that happened the most often was my 36. It's the tallest one, okay? I have 5 people who are 36 inches, okay? So 36 is, again, going to be my mode. 36 inches, okay? It's which one occurred the most often. 36 inches occurred the most often, okay? What is the range in height? So in this one, we're doing range. If you remember range, it was the biggest number in the data minus the smallest number in the data. Now here's where students get range wrong. Most students want to subtract 43 and 31. That's not part of my data, okay? My data are the dots. So my highest number with a dot above it is 40. My lowest number with a dot above it is 32. That's what I'm going to subtract. So 40 minus 32 is 8. My range is 8. Okay? Or the spread. Okay? They can call it range or they can call it spread. All right? And now the last one. What percent of students are taller than 37 inches. Well, as soon as I see the word percent, I know it's going to be part over whole equals percent over 100. Okay? Now, to find the whole amount, I'd have to count all the dots. Okay? Luckily for us, though, it tells us how many dots there are. There are 22. So I'm going to put 22 right here. If not, you'd have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's 23. They wrote that wrong in the book. I copied this from a book. So 23. 23. All right. So there's my 23. And now we're looking for the ones taller than 37 inches. So if it says taller than 37 inches, I am not including 37. Okay. I'm including 38, 39, and 40. Okay. So actually, let me make this better. That bugs me. Sorry. There's 23. And this one was 23. Okay. So taller than 37 inches is 38, 39, and 40. Remember, these have no dots above them, so I'm not going to count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 dots that are 5 students that are taller than 37 inches. Okay. And I'm looking for the percent. So just like before, let's go ahead and cross multiply. That's 500. And we'll round to the nearest tenth, divided by 23. Okay. So 500 divided by 23. Let me show you here. It's about 21.7. Okay. So this is about 21.7. So 21.7%. So close to 22% of our students are taller than 37 inches. Okay, so on this one, the part is going to be how many dots there are above whatever they want. Okay, and then the whole amount is how many dots total. How many dots total. Okay, and then cross multiply by. All right, okie dokie. Let's go ahead and try it out. All right, let me get my book. Here I used a line for every dot. Okay. So go ahead and copy that down. This graph here, this dot plot, tells you how many minutes students travel to school. There are 3 dots above the 4 minutes, 2 dots above the 5 minutes, 3 dots above the 7, and 2 dots above the 8. That we don't see, the dots on the other page kind of like confusing. All right, press play when you are ready to see the answers. Okay, so let's look at the shape. It says, what shape does the data have? So it looks like it goes like this. I don't see skewed right. I don't see skewed left. I don't even see symmetrical. So this has no pattern or no shape. Okay, it has none. So remember I said at the beginning, you can have skewed right, skewed left, or symmetrical, but you can also have no pattern, no shape. Okay, so this is a perfect example. It has no shape. Okay, did y'all get that one? You didn't let it trick you, did you? Okay, so let's see. Next one. What is the mode? It's the tallest one and the one that has the most dots. 4 has 3 dots. 5 has 2 dots. 7 showed up 3 times and 8 showed up twice. So I have 2 numbers that showed up 3 times. So your mode is actually 4 and 7. 4 and 7 are the modes there. Okay. Next one, range or spread. You remember I'm looking at the biggest number with the dots. That's going to be an 8. The smallest number that has dots is the 4, not the 1 and 10. So 8 and 4. So 8 minus 4 is 4. So the spread in data is 4. Okay, the spread in data is 4. And the median, I'll do it in red. Okay, it has no pattern, no shape, so I'm going to have to definitely cross out dots here. So 1 from the 4, 1 from the 8, 4, 8, 4, 7, 5, 7. I have 2 numbers. I have a 5 and a 7. Remember what we had to do? When you have 2 numbers, you add them up. So I have 5 plus 7 divided by 2. So 5 plus 7 is 12. Divided by 2 is 6. So the median there is 6. And you can see here, well, if I have 2 here, what's the number in the middle? 6. Okay, so those are the 2 graphs you learned today, bar graph and dot plot. So go ahead and take a look at your assignment. It's broken up into bar graph and dot plot. Okay, so if you have any questions, come to Google Meets, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.